Videshcha Patni Kamalasana Priya Saraswati Nritya Tu Vachi Me Sada. So we are starting with the presentation for myths and realities of Sanskrit. It is an interesting topic for many, and because Sanskrit has been point of curiosity for not only India but the whole world. We can see Sanskrit at various places, not only in India but in the whole world, and the whole world today feels as if it wants to understand and learn what is Sanskrit, why one should learn it, what are the realities of Sanskrit, is it really useful, is it really a point of interest. Let's look at various parameters and thoughts on what are the myths about Sanskrit and what are the realities. I hope this would be interesting and educating all of us in various ways. I would just start the presentation with a note that the Sanskrit is Samyak Kritam, is Samskritam. That means the thing which is done beautifully, which is done balancedly, which is done systematically is Samskritam. The language which is so systematically built, so systematically developed, and so systematically useful is Sanskrit. Bhasha su Madhura Mukhya is Sanskrit is called as the one which is the Madhura and Mukhya, the most important and the most beautiful or most interesting. So let's look at certain aspects like Sanskrit is simple. So in our minds generally the myth is Sanskrit is confusing, Sanskrit is difficult. Lot of things need to be remembered. If you want, one needs to know Sanskrit. He needs to know a lot of sutras, lot of tables, Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha, and so on to know Sanskrit. But we will today think in that direction that Sanskrit is not difficult, it is simple. So how is Sanskrit simple? Look at some statistics here. 60 to 80% of the words in most of the Indian languages are Sanskrit words. Yeah. So look at Marathi. You will find most of the languages in most of the words in Sanskrit. Look at Hindi. You will find a lot of words in Sanskrit. Even in English, we can find many Sanskrit words. Like we say good night. That means Shubha Naktam. That is the night means Naktam. Naktam is slowly getting transformed into night over a period of time or distorted into night over a period of time. You look at Matar, Pitar. It is similar to mother and father. So we can see that the Sanskrit words are even used for deriving English words in many situations. That's why it is called as the mother of not only Asian languages but also all Indo-European sect of languages. And we can see many words in German, we can see a lot of words in French language as well. Let us go through why Sanskrit is simple. So the point of concern that is in Sanskrit which is making it difficult is the learning methodology. Most of the time the learning mechanism used in the schools, the colleges is rote learning, where one starts with reading and writing first and one doesn't know what is speaking and listening. Look at a baby who learns its mother tongue very easily and conveniently. However difficult it may be, because it can learn through listening, it can learn through speaking, it experiments through speaking, it breaks up, it does a lot of mistakes, but that is joyful for the father and mother. So the baby learns first by listening for 1 year, then it starts speaking for another 1.5 years, 2 years. Then when it joins the school, 3.5, 4 years, 5 years, it starts reading and writing. So if one follows similar pattern of learning, in case of Sanskrit, it becomes simpler for one to learn. So what we get as Open Pathshala and Sanskrit Bharati is learning through listening first, then speaking, then reading, then writing. That is called as Pratyaksha Pathana Paddhati, where a teacher who teaches English language says A for apple, and it doesn't say apple means save or apple means sufferchan. It shows a picture of an apple and says A for apple. So one has to recognize the apple and connect the word apple with that particular object. That is the model of learning for all languages. Why not that the same should be followed for Sanskrit? And the easiness can transform and one can learn it quickly. So let us look at new method of learning instead of saying that Sanskrit is difficult and escape or lose the benefits of learning Sanskrit. Another very important thing is Sanskrit has been considered as the language of few people, the rishis, the brahmanas, the devas. In fact, Sanskrit is sometimes called as Deva Bhasha. So let us look at certain examples. Let us look at Valmiki, who wrote the India's most important epic called as Ramayana, the historical epic of Rama and Sita. You can see that Valmiki, if you look at his history, he was a hunter or a dacoit in some form, right? In India, even the dacoits used to know Sanskrit, and they were as good as writing a beautiful epic like Ramayana. So why not you? Why not me? Why not anyone else on the road? Why not someone on the footpath? Why not someone on the railway station should be speaking Sanskrit? Another beautiful example is of Vishwamitra. He was a Kshatriya. Kshatriya by that word means one who was a warrior, who was born like a king or a prince and then transformed himself into a sannyasin. Look at Vyasa, who is told to be having written the best of the creations and the oldest of the wisdom of the world called as Vedas. He who transformed or compounded or compiled the information around Vedas in those days was the son of a fisherman's daughter, Satyavati, fisherman. Sanskrit was a Lokabhasha and it was for everyone, including genders, including castes, creeds, religions, cultures. Look at Gargi and Maitreyi. They were women, but they are considered to be the epitome of scholars in their times and could compile a lot of beautiful things which are useful for the generations and generations. We can even read certain scriptures created by them today. A lot of Buddhists and Jain religious texts, vast amount of treasure of literature is available to the humankind, not only in the form of knowledge, but experience, thought process, models, well-rounded way of living. Only key to the whole treasure is Sanskrit. And one needs to understand and learn Sanskrit to open this box of treasury, to learn more, to understand the world, to gain the experience of thousands of years. So Sanskrit here proves to be a Lokabhasha, not a Bhasha of a Brahmin or a particular caste or Devas or Rishis. It is for everyone. It is for general public. Sanskritam Saralamasti. That is the first slogan that we discussed. Sanskrit is simple. And the other very important slogan that we discussed is Sanskritam Sarvesham Asti. Sanskrit is for everyone. Sanskrit is not restricted to a particular person or a caste or a creed or a sect, right? So let's break off this myth and let's look at it afresh. We'll find new source of knowledge, new source of interest in this, and we are able to see it already. Let's look at certain other beautiful examples. So there is third very, very critical myth in the mankind, which is called as the myth of saying that Sanskrit is old, Sanskrit is classical, Sanskrit has no enthusiasm, it is of no interest to the larger masses. Let's look at whether that is true or false, whether that is a myth or a reality. We'll find Sanskrit having a lot of literature which is useful for the today's real world. Look at the temples which were made in the South India, which are standing as tall as 100 feet with a large base of 40 feet, 50 feet. Look at those temples. They are standing for more than 1,000 years today. What was that? That was architecture. Is it required for today's world? Answer is yes. One needs to understand what was the basis, what was the engineering behind those structures, who designed it, and how could it stand the weathers, the famines, the floods, rains, and whatnot for thousands of years, and it stood intact. Look at Arthashastra, the book of economics. More than 1,000 years before, Chanakya thought that it is the need of the hour to create a science which can teach the humankind how to calculate, how to manage the economies, how to structure it, how to model it. Look at Ayurveda. Is it not of relevance today? Most of us would be using something or the other from the Ayurvedic medicines today. The shrubs, the herbs, the bhasma, the metals prove to be the best of the medicines, although well-rounded without any side effect. Not even today's doctor can find a solution without side effects. Sanskrit could do it. Sanskrit literature could help mankind with best of the medicines. It is also said that the Sushruta, the ancient father of medicine, created tools and equipments to do surgeries. Look up on the internet and you will find a lot of content over how could the surgeries be done in those ancient times. Is it a useful experience for the doctors? Is it a useful medicine for the humankind? The answer is yes. You can find it in Sanskrit. Why not to link the Sanskrit with your day-to-day vocation? You will find a lot of contemporary stuff which is useful to everyone. Let's look at other aspect of the mankind, which is wellness. Look at yoga. Yoga has become a trend word, with the World Yoga Day being celebrated across globe. More than 100 countries telling their masses to do yoga on a particular day. Look at Ramdev Baba, Patanjali Yoga Peeth. Complete transformation of thought process about yoga. You can see interest in yoga after thousands of years. A small book of not more than 50 pages contains the whole science of yoga, called as Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. So beautifully designed, well-structured model of human wellness, not only at the level of physical, but at the level of mental, at the level of spiritual. Complete transformation of body, mind, and spirit at a time is called as yoga. Yoga means connection. Right? Let us look at Upanishad, the philosophy of the Indian philosophy. You can search around the globe and you will find steps and marks left by a yogi who taught Upanishad across the globe, Swami Vivekananda. You can see him, you can feel him. You can feel him in UK, you can feel him in US, you can also feel him in India, all around India. He just told to the world that what India can do for them. With all material equipments, capabilities, stuff, one lacks peace of mind, one lacks contentment, one lacks santosha. And Upanishad can make that available to you. What is this packed into? This is packed into Sanskrit. Nowadays, people start thinking that I would drink the milk, but would not be interested in the cup of the milk. I think Sanskrit is like a cup of milk. It is not milk. It is not knowledge, but it is the container of the knowledge. The container of the knowledge is equally important as the knowledge, right? So, Suvarnamayena Patrena Satyasya Pitam Mukham. It is told that if you want to preserve the truth, you should be preserving it into the vessel of gold. So Sanskrit is like gold. why not to preserve the new developments, the new documents, the new researches into this beautiful language which can make it available to the generations for thousands of years, instead of preserving it into the the languages which will die in 200, 300 years, who would have different pronunciations, different structures, different grammar in 100 and 200 years. When we talk of English, try to read Shakespeare and you would find that English was completely different at his time. For my Maharashtrian friends, look at Gyaneshwari and you will see that today's Maharashtrians cannot even understand what Gyaneshwara wanted to tell 700, 600 years back. The languages keep on coming into existence and die. Languages keep on changing from place to place. But Sanskrit is, I would say, not old, but eternal. So let's change our mind by saying that Sanskritam Saralamasti, Sanskritam Sarveshamasti, Sanskritam Sarvatra Asti, Sanskritam is not old, Sanskritam is eternal. Let us look at a few other interesting things about Sanskrit. Sanskrit in today's world. Let us look at certain things like Vedic maths. Is it not interesting for our kids to learn Vedic maths, including whenever we speak about maths, there are concepts of Vedic maths which become important. They shorten the formulae. They help you do things faster without calculator with few tricks, right? And if you look at today's mathematicians, they are claiming that mathematics from Vedic mathematic model is easier than even the abacus, which is considered to be the best of the equipment to do mathematics without calculator, without electronic equipment. Sanskrit, you look at Uttarakhand, one of the states of India, the most beautiful, the most serene. It has now announced publicly that Sanskrit is its official language. And when I read back in the time of Constitution of India, I found that Dr. Ambedkar proposed Sanskrit to be India's national language, but it was been opposed by our own fellow brothers and it couldn't find a place. The acceptance of Sanskrit is all around. Go to anywhere and speak few words of Sanskrit and you are being accepted. You are being liked upon. You are being embraced. Look at Sanskrit's beauty. You will always find acceptance. Go to Kanyakumari, go to Kashmir. Everyone, people love Sanskrit, respect Sanskrit, and respect people who know Sanskrit. So why not to transform our country into one language, which is Sanskrit? Another interesting stuff that I would want to present here to all of you is an acceptance evidence of Sanskrit across the globe. There is a good old school in London which has accepted Sanskrit for its regular coaching and training. Look at small kids in the classroom. They are chanting Sanskrit rhymes. They are chanting Sanskrit poetries. Why would one want to do it if it is of no use to the modern world? Let us look at a beautiful video and then proceed. Yeah, so these are certain evidences that world today feels the need. Things that Vedic rhymes, which are considered to be as old as 20,000 years are even relevant today. And one needs to understand and learn Vedas to become smart, to become efficient, to become holistic. This is the kind of acceptance that I am talking about for Sanskrit across the world. Sanskrit in today's world, you look at headline here, Sanskrit fever grips Germany. In Germany, 14 of the top universities teach Sanskrit, classical and modern Indology, compared to just 4 in UK. Summer school spans a month in August every year and draws applications from across the world. So Sanskrit is considered to be as important as doing it in the whole of the August for some very, very forward country like Germany. Why not we accept it as eternal instead of saying that it was old? By eternal, I mean Shashwatam, which is lifelong, which is always there, which is omnipresent, instead of saying that it was old. The one which didn't have birth and with one will never die is Shashwatam. So Sanskrit, I would say, is eternal instead of saying that it was old. Let us go to one more thing, which is interesting. What founding fathers of modern India said about Sanskritam. So when India got freedom, we found that there was a constitution which was required to be built up, and we could see with lot of evidences that Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar himself proposed Sanskritam as one of the constitution of India to make Sanskrit as the Rashtrabhasha, the language of this country, which we already discussed. Let us look at Swami Vivekananda. He says that this proves the social relevance apart from knowledge that Sanskrit holds. So Sanskrit has a lot of social relevance. It is the one language which India can accept all around. Not only India, the globe can accept. And this is the one medium which can tie up the globe into one, which is what we want. We want peace, we want enjoyment, we want success, we want progress. We don't want war, we don't want terrorism, we don't want politics. We all want peace of mind, we all want happiness. And Sanskrit is one which can tie everyone into one. So let's look at Sanskrit in a different way today. What did Pandit Nehru say? The discovery of India said that Sanskrit is the greatest treasure and greatest heritage of India which India possesses. Some facts on Sanskrit which are further interesting to you and which would give you further ideas and open up the angles about Sanskrit. Grammar of this language is so tightly built. We already discussed about this, that we said that why not to write new documents, new papers, new PhDs, new models, new literature, new thinking into Sanskrit. Let's look at it. Let's spend some time and we would also find a lot of colors coming out of this treasure of knowledge. Let's look at some more facts. Like classical Sanskrit grammar encompasses largest literature of any language and incorporates sacred literature, 3 of the world's major religions. It consists of a lot of treasure, including Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain. There could be hundreds of synonyms for a single word in Sanskrit. That is another beautiful thing which is called as Amarkos, which is kind of thesaurus of Sanskrit, which contains huge amount of words for a single word. Like for example, Buddhi, the intellect, can be called in different ways, in different moods, in different times, in different situations. All the situations are covered into one. And we can spell it out this way: Buddhi, Manisha, Dishana, Di, Prajna, Semushi, Mati. So we can think of 6 words: Buddhi, Manisha, Dishana, Di, Prajna, Semushi, Mati. 7 in fact. So one word has 7 different similar words, which can be used in different moods, in different situations, in different structures, and all available in the poetic model. The beauty of Sanskrit literature, most of the time, it is all poetic. It is all song, and one can kind of remember the song easily. Even my small daughter of who is 7 years old today, can chant 100, more than 100 lines of Amar Kosh because of its poetic nature. A kid can learn it. Can you think of a thesis being learned by a kid by heart in scenario of English or any other language? No, absolutely no. But in Sanskrit, these kind of ready available thesaurus is there for the world to use it without any copyright, without any patent. Why should I learn Sanskrit? I would say it is the national duty of all Indians to know Sanskrit. Why national duty? Because this is a language which has the nation's biggest treasure available to its disposal. Anytime one understands it, one learns it, one decodes it. Because it is the one language which ties the nation into one, which removes all kinds of distortions, which creates brotherhood. So I feel that this is what every national of India or every national of Bharata should learn. And it should become part of his national duty to preserve the treasure of this nation intact and make it available to next generations smoothly. You can become Lakho mein, that is another beautiful angle. Today, if you look at the consensus of 99-2000, you would find that only 14,000 people said that Sanskrit is my mother tongue out of more than 100 crores. Look at the proportion. And if you speak few words, few sentences like Mama Nama Miteshaha, Bhavataha Nama Kim, as easy as that, you will become Lakho mein. You will be seen like an animal in a cage, in a what you call a faraway place. One goes to safari to see a lion. Similarly, people come far away to see us when we speak Sanskrit day to day. But there is also a flip side to it. When a lot of people are covering our family into a Sanskrit family, you look at Z News, look at Hindustan Times, Times of India, and all other local newspapers, one should feel great about himself, but we feel defeated. We feel hurt. Why? Because we feel that if you look at Germany, and if there is a family who is speaking in German language, he is considered to be regular. No one covers him. No one comes to take his camera photographs. No one puts him in press. Look at Japan. All Japanese speaking people are considered to be normals. Look at India. Our language, Sanskrit, which is our own language, which is our day-to-day language. It should be our day-to-day language. Today, in India, if you speak English, you are normal. But you speak Sanskrit, which is our national language, it is considered to be what you call a very rare thing, very difficult thing to find. Is it a good situation to be in for all our Indians? That is my question to all of you. And I feel no, one should learn it. There should be Sanskrit in a bus, there should be Sanskrit in a rickshaw, auto rickshaw, someone in mobile WhatsApp should be exchanging messages in Sanskrit. There should be school kids who are talking in Sanskrit. There are villages. You can see 3 or 4 villages because of our effort of Sanskrit Bharati being converted into full-fledged Sanskrit villages. You can look up to Muttur in the YouTube and you will find beautiful clippings of news coming from Muttur, where all small and big barbers and tailors speaking in Sanskrit. Why not you and me? Why not we adopt it? So we covered this point where we are saying that Sanskrit is unifying and it has got a lot of literature. So why should I learn Sanskrit? Another very important point. Translations are available, but the beauty of mantras is lost when you speak in other language. Like for example, in India, there was a very old movie which is still pleased to be heard, some dialogues. which is called as Sholay. If the Gabbar Singh starts speaking in Gujarati or a Marathi or a French or a German, would someone like to listen to him? The answer is no. One would like to listen to him in the original language in which the dialogues were made. Why would one like to listen to Krishna or a Rama speaking in English? One would like to listen to him in the original mode. And the beauty is completely different. There are vibrations connected to it. There is beauty connected to it. There is healing connected to it. Another very important point is Sanskrit stands close to the roots of English. Most of the European and classical modern languages also have Sanskrit words. It improves a lot of pronunciations. Pronunciations become better when one knows Sanskrit. If you look at the call center in India, find that India is the most preferred destination worldwide when you talk about call centers. Why? Because people across the world understand that the capability of Indians to absorb languages is huge, humongous. In India, a common man on an average would know at least 3 to 4 languages. In none of the other countries I could find this kind of ease in understanding, learning, pronouncing languages. All credit goes to the mothers of the mother tongue, which is Sanskrit. Action time. We discussed a lot about the theories and beauties of using Sanskrit. Aham Miteshah, aham vyavasayena chartered accountant asmi, aham Mumbaiyam nivasami, aham Sanskritasya karyam karomi. These are the few words that I spoke in Sanskrit. I hope everyone could understand it. Because Sanskritam katham asti, Sanskritam saralam asti, Sanskritam sarvesham asti, Sanskritam sarvatra asti. So Sanskrit is simple, Sanskrit is available for everyone, and Sanskrit is available everywhere, in all fields, in all areas, and it is eternal. So how to learn it? That would be the question in everyone's mind when one joined the webinar. You can look up to samskritabharati.in. That is our website, wherein a lot of classes are being posted for people to learn Sanskrit across the globe. We are present in more than 40 countries now. You can connect to our Facebook pages, Twitter handles, and whatnot to find out how to learn Sanskrit and where to get connected. Very, very simple technique is 2 hours daily for 10 days, and one starts speaking. One starts telling some stories, reciting some beautiful verses, and also understanding a bit of Bhagavad Gita, a bit of Vagbhushanam, a bit of certain other small scriptures of this country, and one gets to taste the beauty of this language, which is very important. One cannot deny or one cannot comprehend the beauty of the language without himself or herself tasting it. It is like someone who is learning swimming without getting into a pool. Theoretically, one cannot learn anything, one cannot taste anything. One needs to get deeper, one needs to get involved, one needs to get engrossed, one needs to try it out to understand, to learn, to grasp it. So these 10 days courses are beautifully designed for every one of us to join, and those are free of cost, and there is no background knowledge at all required to join these courses. No book and pen, no study material, only talking, only listening, only talking, only listening, and everything that happens in Sanskrit. So one starts understanding from day one. Samskrita Bharati also has another model, and other organizations also do have, like, which is called as postal coaching, where one can learn Sanskrit through postal coaching. So one need not go there. One can buy books online, and we have books in 9 to 10 medium languages. It includes Hindi, Marathi, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Oriya, and whatnot. So one can choose his best convenient language and start learning it. It is also available in Hindi and English, by the way. So whatever suits you can be adopted and started. But point is, jump in, take an action. And let's also look at what Open Pathshala has to offer. Open Pathshala is a Pathshala open for everyone who wants to learn, everyone who is curious, everyone who is interested. It can teach Sanskrit grammar, conversation, literature and philosophy, and also the Subhashita, which is the most beautiful small piece of knowledge available in a simple, poetic way. So these are certain courses. You can look at openpathshala.com and start looking at videos, tutorials, and start connecting to your best available tutor. So just click at openpathshala.com or samskritabharati.in and jump into the learning and start understanding the beauty of this language. Dhanyavad. Thank you.